All right, so let's talk a little bit about Paleoproterozoic geology. So about 2.5 billion to 1.6 billion years ago. So it's a big chunk of time. It's almost a billion years, 900 million years. All right. So following the initial episode of amalgamation of the Archean craton, all the original pieces that kind of make up the Archean, the original craton, accretion took place, adding on material. That's what to accrete means. Took place along Laurentia's kind of southern margin as it collided with volcanic arcs and oceanic terrain kind of being added on there. From about 1.65 to 1.76 billion years ago, a couple of these orogenic belts were added on. One was the first was the Yavapai, and the second was the Mazatzal, were added to Laurentia. The rocks on these origins have been deformed, altered by metamorphism. We're creating a lot of pressure and heat as we're kind of squishing things together. They were intruded by granitic batholiths, and then eventually kind of just sutured on, stuck on to Laurentia. So, at the so in the Paleoproterozoic, this is kind of what we're looking at. So this is the original kind of Archean craton, parts of Canada, U.S., Greenland, so even into parts of Europe. But what we have here and here, these are the Yavapai and Mazatzal origins. These are the orogenic belts that are kind of getting stuck onto the existing old Archean craton. And so I'm kind of superimposed a picture here. So again, here's the original Archean old craton that Yavapai and then the Mazatzal origins were kind of added onto it, right? So these things were just kind of added on to it. Okay, they were accreted. There is an AZ connection to what we just heard. But you know what? Before we do, let me give you another part of the super secret code. It is the number 6. One more time, the number 6. One more time, the number 6. So there's an AZ connection here. So the Yavapai orogeny is named after the Yavapai supergroup. It's a sequence of rocks that are metamorphosed volcanic and sedimentary rock layers in central Arizona. Exposures were found from Jerome, Prescott area down to the Mingus Mountain area. So the Yavapai orogeny was named after these rocks. Usually when you name rocks, you name it after something in the state somehow, some way. And then the Mazatzal orogeny, named after the Mazatzal Mountains in south central Arizona. Four Peaks, the famous mountain Four Peaks, not the restaurant / bar, the actual mountain Four Peaks, is in the Mazatzal Mountains as a reference. And if you've never seen it, there's Four Peaks. You know how I know? Because it has 1, 2, 3, 4 peaks. Yeah, it's actually pretty cool. You can drive up it and kind of park right up in this area, and you can kind of hike up here. There's some secret mines along the face of Four Peaks as well. But anyway, these are metamorphic in nature. Now, so hopefully you recognize this. If you're in Phoenix and you don't have trees or buildings or houses in the way, and you look towards the east, those are the Four Peaks peeking out way off in the east, way off in the distance. They're about 50 miles from here, 50 to 70 miles from here, straight shot. However, what's funny is you actually look at these mountains every day of your life. If you ever leave your home, you see these things hundreds of times because they're right here on the license plate. Isn't it interesting? So Arizona is the Grand Canyon state, but yet here we have the Four Peaks in the Mazatzal range, of which the Mazatzal orogeny is named after these mountain ranges. So, interesting. I don't know if you knew that. So in Arizona during the early Proterozoic, if we were here, this is kind of what we would look and see. So again, here's the Yavapai origin province. Here's the Mazatzal kind of coming in to kind of squish onto North America, into creating Laurentia. All right. Let's just keep a good pace going here. Let's go ahead and stop here. So when we come back, we'll talk about the middle part geologically of the Proterozoic eon, the Mesoproterozoic. See you back here in just a second.